Hello everyone. So this video is on sensors in our smartphone. Well, smartphone has become indispensable in our life. Right? It has a lot of sensors. So we have all these sensors in our smartphone. So let us see these sensors one by one. Well, so we'll start with the very first one. So which is referred as the proximity sensor. Right? So what is the purpose of this proximity sensor? Well, when it comes to the location, generally it is fitted at the front side of the panel of the phone at the top of the phone. Then so here, let us say, whenever if we get a call, our screen will be activated. So once we attend the call and once we start talking in the call, and then once we bring the phone very close to our face or ear, immediately screen goes black. So this is mainly because of the proximity sensor. So it has some active IR sensor, active infrared sensor, just like our TV remote control. Whenever there is an obstruction to this particular sensor, so immediately screen goes black. Detects the distance of the phone from our skin or any other object. This feature is used to disable the touch screen when we receive a phone call and the phone is held very near to our face or ear. The next sensor is known as accelerometer sensor. So in almost all the phones, we have the auto rotation option, right? So it can be a landscape mode, it can be a portrait mode, right? So let us say now you are using the phone like this. So if you want to watch a movie in full screen, if you rotate to the landscape mode, immediately this image also will be adjusted to this particular screen, right? So this is mainly because of the accelerometer. So it will also sense the acceleration. It can detect the tilt or orientation of the phone. It also detects the vibration and acceleration. It helps to determine whether the phone is in portrait mode or landscape mode. This sensor can also detect if the display of the phone is in upward or downward position. So it means that in some of the phones, so let us, if we get a call, so let us generally ringtone starts ringing, right? So if we keep the phone in a downward direction, immediately screen as well as ringtone will be in off condition. That is mainly because of this sensor. The next sensor is called a gyroscope sensor, which is the extension of the accelerometer. Gyroscope sensor will identify X, Y, Z direction. It is highly useful in gaming apps, video games, right? Like this. So let us say, with the help of this gyroscope sensor, generally once you open any gaming app, so if you move the phone towards left, right, upward, downward, according to the tilting angle of the phone, automatically the objects like it can be a car or bike in that particular game also will move in that direction. It is mainly because of the gyroscope sensor. Gyroscope can detect the orientation, rotation, and direction of the phone very accurately, precisely. Many popular gaming apps will make use of this feature. And the next one is called as ambient light sensor. So in our settings, we can find a small icon for auto brightness adjustment, right? So whenever we activate this auto brightness or adaptive brightness display mode, so our screen brightness or display will be adjusted according to the surrounding environment, in the sense according to the surrounding ambient. So let us say if you enter into a dark room, automatically screen brightness will be decreased. If you go to the outside, screen brightness will be adjusted, right? This sensor detects the light or brightness to automatically adjust the brightness of the display. It is used when we put on phone in auto brightness mode or adaptive brightness display mode. Then next one, fingerprint sensor. In the recent past, we got majority of the phones with the fingerprint sensor. So one of the best, what do you call, unlocking methods, right? So privacy point of view, what exactly it will do? So this particular sensor will capture the biometric data of our fingers. According to that, we can unlock the phone. So the location of this fingerprint sensor can be, in some of the phones, it will be at rear side. In some of the phone, it will be at the front side of at the bottom, in like a physical button. In the recent past, we can see that this is directly fitted into the display itself. It is generally found back of the smartphone or sometimes in the front bottom. Some manufacturers also started to install in the display itself. It can read and store the biometric data of our fingers, can be used to unlock the phone, thus replacing the use of any password or pattern. So compared to the password or pattern unlocking method, it is the, so fingerprint unlocking is the best method. Pedometer sensor. Well, in some of the phones, we can have this type of pedometer sensor. So it actually gives the total number of steps or total walking distance. For example, if this is activated, let us say, one day. So at the end of the day, if you open this particular app in that particular day, so here it will give the complete information, like total number of steps, 8,916. Total number of calories burned, 412 kilocalories. The active time of walking is 1 hour, 24 minutes. Total distance traveled is 4.7 kilometers. So this information will be given with the help of the pedometer sensor. In some of the modern phones, this sensor is available. This is used for maintaining health and fitness. The user's walking motion will be detected and then analyzes the signal, calculate the walking distance, calories burned, and provides the real-time feedback to the user. Then heart rate sensor. It is almost like the pulse oximeter. So in some of the phones, we can have a health app also. It will have a sensor at the rear side. So once you open the health app, for example, in Samsung phone, you have a Samsung health app. If you open that, where you can find heart rate in BPM, beats per minute. It can be oxygen level in the blood. It can be a stress level. All the things we can find there. So once you open it, it will ask that. So please keep the finger exactly on the sensor. We have to keep like this. And then if you wait for some time after some steady condition, then it will give the readings like this. So it can be a heartbeat rate, BPM. It can be oxygen level in the blood. It can be respiration rate. So these values are almost close to the pulse oximeter. Expensive flagship smartphones having the built-in health apps will have this type of sensors. This sensor measures the heart rate in BPM, stress level, oxygen level, and the blood oxygen level in the blood, just like the pulse oximeter. Then iris sensor. In some of the phones, we can find this type of sensor also. So it will capture the iris, and then according to that, we can unlock the phones. Iris scanning is a way of securely keeping the content of our phone. First introduced in the Samsung Galaxy S8 and Note 8 in 2017, I think. So this iris sensor has introduced in Galaxy S8. And after that, almost S series and Note series, we can find this sensor. It uses the biometric information of the iris to identify the person. Then face detection sensor. So this mainly works on artificial intelligence technology. That particular smartphone should have the face recognition software. Then you might have heard about the Apple Face ID, right? So it will capture the random images of the person. And then for each image, it will take nearly 30,000 to 50,000 notes on the face. And then it will capture the data so accurately. With artificial intelligence technology, we can unlock the phones. It requires facial recognition software on smartphone, like Apple's Face ID, depth sensor, dot projector to map 30,000 points on our face. Then barcode and quick response code sensor, QR. Right. Well, so we are familiar with these two. So with the help of scanning of the barcode, we can identify the product details or any other information or data. With the help of QR code, we can go for capturing the information of the product, and we can do the payments also. In some of the phones, we can have the inbuilt apps of barcode and QR codes. And if you open that, it will ask that search for QR code. Then we can go for scanning of the QR code. Then it will be taken to the next. That is nothing but open browser. From that browser, we can access the information also. This sensor can read barcodes on product packaging, QR codes. Most modern smartphone manufacturers will install this type of sensor. Then GPS sensor. No need to explain much about this sensor. So navigation. So finding the best route in journeys. So we are depending much on the GPS sensors. Well, global positioning system is also very common and popular in most modern phones. It helps to locate the location on the earth and helps in navigation. Popular service like Ola, Uber, and then Zomato, Swiggy, all the apps will use this type of feature. Then magnetometer, it is just like the compass, right? It will give the east, west, north, and south. So not only that, it can be used in case of metal detector apps also. Magnetometer will act as compass in our smartphone. It is used in maps, compass, navigation apps, and then metal detector apps also. Then thermometer. So thermometer sensor in our phone, so it can identify the temperature of environment. It can identify the temperature of the CPU or battery or whatever you call, or the phone. Right? Let us say right now it is at 40 degrees centigrade, high temperature. Then if you go for any app, let us say if you want to cool the phone, then we can click on some button. Then your phone temperature can be cooled to 40 degrees centigrade. So more RAM usage also can be reduced. So nearly 17 heating apps are closed. So with this, then in case of any overheating, right? So in case it will avoid the damage, or because of that, it will completely go for shutdown. Thermometer monitors the temperature of the device and battery. It is used to display the temperature of the device and environment. So it is also used to shut down the device in case of overheating to prevent any damage. Then Hall sensor. So this Hall sensor is highly useful whenever if we use a flip cover on the phone. So try to observe these two images here. So once we close the flip cover here, our screen goes black. Once we even slightly open the cover also, immediately the screen will be activated. So how this is taking place? So here actually not only in the phone, even in our laptop also. So whenever you close the laptop, right, then automatically screen goes black. The reason is that here, so they'll either some of the phones they'll keep the magnetic metal at the top, and some phones they'll keep the magnetic metal at the bottom. Even the flip cover also we can have some small magnetic material. Whenever these two magnets comes closer, then automatically screen will be deactivated. So that is the purpose of the Hall sensor. Hall sensor can detect the magnetic field. This feature is used to sleep and wake up the phone when a flip cover is used. The last sensor is CMOS image sensor for capturing the photos or videos, right? So basically we have two types of image sensors in our phone. It can be a CCD or it can be CMOS, right? So image sensor, two different technologies for capturing the images digitally. Not only in phone, it can be a digital camera also. Then when it comes to CCD, charge coupled device here, the speed is 1 to 40 megapixels per second. It can capture 40 megapixels of the images. Then when it comes to CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor type of image sensor here, then it can capture 100 to 400 megapixels per second. So here in these two images, CMOS you can find more brightness when compared to the CCD type of image sensor. Not only in the daytime, even in the nighttime also, you can find better brightness here when it comes to this particular CMOS type of image sensor. So these are all the sensors we have in our smartphone. So hope you might have understood the purpose of the sensors. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.